In a quiet, humble town surrounded by hills, life moved gently, untouched by the chaos of the larger world. Among its simple streets stood a tiny cobbler's shop, where the sound of joyful singing filled the air every morning. This cheerful voice belonged to Jack, a poor cobbler who spent his days mending shoes. He was no ordinary cobbler. Though his clothes were simple and his possessions few, he carried a unique charm, a cheerful smile and a song on his lips. Every morning, as he worked on fixing old, worn-out shoes, he sang. His voice was full of joy, and his songs brought smiles to those passing by. Jack's days were simple. He worked on repairing worn-out shoes, earning just enough to buy food for the day. At night, he returned to his modest one-room house, shared a meal with his family, and slept peacefully. Despite having so little, Jack had something many others didn't: a deep sense of contentment and peace. Not far from Jack's small shop stood a grand mansion, a symbol of wealth and power. This mansion belonged to Mr. Jackson, a rich merchant whose business stretched far and wide. Jackson's wealth was unmatched in the region. Chests of gold coins, ornate jewels, and luxurious possessions filled his home. But while Jackson's house was full of treasures, his heart was empty. At night, while Jack and others in the town slept soundly, Jackson would lie awake. His mind raced with fears. What if his wealth was stolen? What if his investments failed? His wealth, which should have been a blessing, had become a burden. One sleepless night, Jackson sat by his window, looking out at the quiet town. Amid the silence, he heard a familiar sound, the cheerful singing of the cobbler. The melody, so pure and joyous, struck a chord deep within Jackson. He thought to himself, "How can this man who has so little be so happy, while I, with all my wealth, am so miserable?" That question planted a seed of curiosity in his mind. The next morning, Jackson decided to seek out the cobbler. He arrived at Jack's tiny shop and watched as Jack skillfully repaired a worn-out pair of shoes, humming his usual cheerful tune. "Good morning, sir," Jack greeted with his usual warm smile. "How may I help you today?" Jackson studied the cobbler for a moment before speaking. "Jack, I hear you're singing every morning. You seem so happy and carefree. Tell me, what's the secret to your happiness?" Jack chuckled, wiping his hands on his apron. "Sir, there is no great secret. I am happy because I have enough. My work gives me what I need: a meal for my family, a roof over our heads, and peace in my heart. What more could I ask for?" Jackson was taken aback. He couldn't understand how someone living so modestly could be content. He thought, perhaps he's never experienced what it's like to have wealth. Determined to test Jack's happiness, Jackson returned later with a heavy bag of gold coins. Placing it on Jack's table, he said, "Take this, my friend. You work hard, and you deserve more. This will make your life easier." Jack's eyes widened in shock. He had never seen so much gold before. "Thank you, sir," he said, his voice filled with awe and gratitude. That evening, as Jack returned home, the bag of gold clutched tightly in his hands. A strange feeling overcame him. For the first time, he did not sing. Instead, he sat by the bag, staring at the coins. Days turned into weeks, and the gold, instead of bringing joy, brought only worry. He hid the gold in his house, but couldn't stop thinking about it. What if someone finds it? What if thieves break in? The joy that once defined his life vanished. His cheerful songs were replaced by silence, and his work suffered as his mind was constantly preoccupied. The simple pleasures he had once cherished were overshadowed by the weight of his new burden. One morning, exhausted and unhappy, Jack made a decision. He took the bag of gold and went to Jackson's mansion. "Sir," he said, placing the bag on the table, "since the day you gave me this gold, I have lost my peace. I no longer sing, and my days are filled with fear and worry. Please take it back." I would rather live with my humble earnings and a peaceful heart than carry this burden." Jackson was silent, moved by the cobbler's words. "Jack," he said finally, "you have taught me a valuable lesson today. Happiness is not about having more, but about being content with what we have." As Jack walked back to his shop, a sense of freedom washed over him. That evening, the town once again heard his joyful singing, a melody that reminded everyone of the beauty of a content heart. So, my friends, this story is a timeless reminder of an essential truth. Happiness isn't about how much we have. It's about how much we appreciate what we already have. Happiness lies not in abundance, but in contentment. Jack was happy not because he had much, but because he appreciated what he had. On the other hand, Jackson's wealth brought him anxiety because he was never satisfied. In life, we often chase after more money, more possessions, more success, believing they will bring us happiness. But true happiness is not found in the pursuit of more. It is found in gratitude, in appreciating the present moment, and in living without unnecessary worries. Like Jack, when we appreciate the little joys in life, we find peace. Remember, chasing material wealth often steals our ability to enjoy the present moment. Instead of asking, "What more can I have?" ask yourself, "Am I grateful for what I have?" True contentment doesn't come from the weight of gold or the size of your possessions. It comes from appreciating the simple joys: love, peace, and gratitude. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to share this story with others to inspire more people to live life with contentment and peace. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already for more motivational stories. So today, let's learn from Jack and live with gratitude and peace in our hearts. Start your journey toward true happiness by practicing gratitude and embracing simplicity. Remember, contentment is the greatest treasure. Always be content with what you have. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.